Tonight is about the drive to serve. What does that mean in your everyday life? We all have a drive to serve. We're here prioritizing education, prioritizing equitable access and opportunities to education, mentorship, giving back, and the impacts. So we welcome you all today for this important conversation. We're here for the love of music, no accidents. My former world to be here. Grammy night kicks off this Grammy series of events, and we're all here. And this number of people and all you caring is overwhelming, but it shows that we have a mission to serve. So think about today, your drive to serve. So I want to call to the stage, not the table, the round table, Mayor Brook to open the words. But here at the Compton School District, we're about elevating. So we're here to educate you what is happening, and I'm so grateful for Mayor to be here with us this evening. Council Member Oscar De La Torre, Lana Negretti, Council Member, to also share this special evening, because we're going to bring Santa Monica and Compton together. So handing it over to you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Santa Monica. First, your words just resonated with me because you talked about serving. And that's what my mission has been for decades. Volunteering in this city. I've volunteered in Santa Monica for 25, almost 30 years now, on commissions, on foundations, on areas where we can help children, we can help teens in need. And the superintendent of Compton Schools, who I've met in the past, I share a passion with him because my first career, as you know, I was a high school teacher in Los Angeles at Crenshaw High, Hamilton High, Lincoln High in East LA. And I learned early on that our mission in life is not only to take care of ourselves, but it's to help take care of everyone else as well. One of my mentors, Coach John Wooden at UCLA, said very succinctly, you can't have a good day unless you've done something for someone who can never repay you. Well, think about that. We need to serve selflessly. And I'm proud that you're all here in Santa Monica, and that I hope that all of you will find a way to serve today. So I thank you for any past service you've done in your life. I thank you for any service you're doing now. More importantly, I thank you in advance for the service you will do for your communities, wherever they may be in Los Angeles, and how you can help others in this country, city, county, state thrive. Because when we lift ourselves, we want to lift everyone else with us. So thank you very much. Welcome again to Santa Monica. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor. So I'd love to kick this off and throw it over to my boss, Superintendent. My history started in Compton, 15 years ago when I started an orchestra at Centennial High. Manny, I know you're here, raise your hand. But I want to paint the picture because the Compton School District and what's going on in Compton, sometimes we just have a different perspective of what's happening in the district, or it's maybe not as good as other districts. So I'd love to, paint the picture. What is the educational system like and what's happening in the district?
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Darin Brawley, Superintendent of Compton Unified School District. Compton has a rich pride. Many of you might be surprised to know that Compton was the sister city to Beverly Hills. Compton used to be an all-white community, all right? And over time, that community converted to a predominantly black community, and now it is a predominantly Latino community. Rich pride within the city of Compton. So, oftentimes when I introduce myself and tell them where I work, people, usually uninformed people, I should say something like, oh, I'm so sorry. Well, don't be sorry for Compton. There's a lot of positive things going on in Compton. So I arrived in Compton about 12 years ago, and during that time, Compton Unified School District was not doing so well. It was one of the school districts that was slated to be taken over by the state. It would have been the second time had that occurred. Inglewood was the other city. Compton was not taken over. We righted the ship financially, and now we are a true testament of good fiscal management. Standard & Poor rating, Moody rating of an A+. That's Compton. When you think about where we've gone, when I got there, we had about a 58% graduation rate. We had, A through G completion rate, which is what gets you into UCs and CSUs of 12%. Now the graduation rate is 90% throughout the district. And our A through G completion rate is 55% within the district. And we're slated to be at about 70% next year. So a lot of positive things going on. When we compare our school dashboard, which is the way that schools are ranked within the state of California, when we compare Compton to surrounding districts, about 15 surrounding districts within close proximity, there are only 3 districts that are doing better than Compton. So, and those 3 districts, guess what those socioeconomic status might consist of, right? Very wealthy folks, predominantly white, and not a predominantly Latino English language learner and African American population like ours. So we're holding our own. We have invested very, very heavily. I am a student of Malcolm Baldrige training, which really consists of benchmarking your performance so that you can become better than your surrounding competitors, and that is the approach that we employ within Compton Unified School District. So it's continuous improvement all along the way to get better than our surrounding competitors. And guess what? There used to be a time when Long Beach was better than us. Long Beach is not better than us anymore when you look at the dashboard that is released by the state of California. So we're knocking them down one at a time, and we're doing everything that we can for students. One of the biggies, Michelle Dawson, where are you at?
Raise your hand, come up
Raise
so
your
everyone
hand,
can see you, Michelle.
So everybody can see Michelle.
She has a red jacket on.
So about 9 years ago,
Come
I
up
stole
here.
this great woman from, sometimes woman, sometimes a beast, sometimes other things, but stole her from San Francisco Unified. And we went down a mission, a journey, if you will, to provide Black and brown students with opportunities that did not exist within areas like Compton and other situated socioeconomic school districts like ours. And our mission really was to eliminate the opportunity gap in technology and STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And we have done that. I would challenge you to find another school district that provides the opportunities to students in the area of technology that Compton Unified School District does, whether we're talking about programming opportunities for coding, whether we're talking about robotics, esports, drones, computational thinking, you name it, we're doing it. And our kids are showing their skills across the state and nationally in terms of competitions, in terms of what they can create and what they can produce within Compton Unified School District. So I hope I've set the record, internationally too. I hope I've set the record straight for some of you in terms of those that you might have thought Compton. Why Compton? Well, Compton is doing well by its scholars. If you have not heard about the Compton turnaround story, look it up. Very beautiful story. If you haven't heard about the things that we've accomplished, research it. The data doesn't lie. Compton is doing great things for students, and we hope that before the end of the night, you will find a way in which you can partner with the Compton Unified School District. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Randy Jackson, we're all here to see you. What do you have to say, Godfather to education and spotting
Go
talent?
Compton School District's in the house. Go Compton. Yo, man.
We're straight in Compton.
You guys are
Santa Monica.
You guys are doing it.
Yes, we are.
Wow. Job well done, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Randy, talk to us about, the importance of education and what you do and how you always are uplifting, students' talent and everything, from your entrepreneurial endeavors to your entertainment endeavors, music. Talk to us about your approach to it and why is that important to you at this stage in your career and what's next?
Well,
I know you have some tricks up your sleeve.
Listen, we've heard that phrase that children are the future, right? It's the Black National Anthem. I believe the children are our future. It really is the truth. I mean, when you look at the world and where everything's going, I mean, Maejor and I'm just speaking for the both of us, we consider ourselves Gen Z alphas. Right, Maejor? Well, I mean, eternally we're still 12 in a lot of ways. Right?
Absolutely. Childlike. Always childlike.
Always childlike, because that's godlike. But I think, listen, it's the person that shows up at the right place at the right time with the most and the best information. And I equate that to a thing I witnessed a couple weeks ago. There's an artist that I work with, who's very educated, but they don't really have the social skills because they didn't really grow up. They grew up in one of those very wealthy neighborhoods. They didn't really have the skills to really learn to read the room. Reading the room is a very social thing, so that you know what to say, what to do, how to acquiesce, whatever. It really is an important step. So you learn all you can, and you apply it, use the wisdom and pay it forward. I just love learning. I felt like for me, one of the things that helped me when I was a kid growing up in the hood in Louisiana and lovely Baton Rouge is that I learned everything I could. I sponged everything, every speaker, every engagement, everything I could go to, because I wanted to know all that I could, because I never know what I would need, because you just never really know, and it may be a simple thing, maybe a more complex thing. But that's why I always try and push and inspire kids to want to learn more and be and get involved and stay involved.
And at this point, how do you give back and what's your sort of impact and philanthropy that you're passionate about in the educational space?
I give back in ways like this. I mean, I'm pretty big on the Save the Children board. Get back to literacy. Any way that I can. I mean, I just love the nurturing and the teaching of kids, and also just inspiring them, because one of the things that got taken for granted on American Idol was sometimes as a kid you just need somebody of quality that believes that you can, because you doubt yourself, your parents doubt themselves, they doubt you, but you need somebody that's saying, you know what, you really got something. You see these people turn on like a light bulb. So just that belief from someone else is so great and so taken for granted.
I love that. Believe that you can. I think we have all hours of the evening and daytime we talk, and Superintendent has always given me that opportunity, which, really is what drives you, when others don't see that road or that clarity. You said to me when I was shifting careers after law school, don't abandon that music ship. That's where you started. That's what that's what it stems from as a trained pianist. Don't leave that.
And I also believe that people can see and feel your passion, Michelle. That's the thing. I mean, you want the most genuine, honest people to work with kids because they can see through anything. I mean, social media is like, they can see a lie coming a mile off. So they know what that is now. So I mean, that genuine, that honesty, just that purity, but the passion. Like, Maejor's got a lot of passion for what he does, what he's continuing to do, and also watching careers of ours that we've been, by the grace of God, we've flourished, but seeing where the careers go, because one accolade is not enough. You want to keep thriving and keep pushing no matter what the age is.
Absolutely. To what you just said there, to add on to that, I've heard this quote that said, there's three people that will tell you the truth: someone who's mad, someone who's drunk, and a kid.
Kid has no filter. They're always honest.
So to what you said, yeah, they can definitely, absolutely feel the energy you give, Michelle. Grateful for that, because I believe it always starts with the intention, right? And what is your intention from the beginning? So when you told me about this event with service as the intention and seeing how you guys all come together, I think that's what it's all about. So thank you.
Maejor is a dear friend. We hadn't met, and you did a Music Unites event we reconnected in the last year and a half over our wellness journey and fitness, and Maejor has an amazing healing concept. I'd love you to share a little bit about, you were just at World Economic Davos speaking about what you're doing, but you're a Santa Monican.
Absolutely. So I'm a local Santa Monican, and my journey has been into the music industry. I started getting a chance to produce for and write and perform with a lot of great artists that you hear in the radio, and I was having a good momentum with the music, and I was really excited and thinking, I'm gonna open some centers when I get old that will help kids. And unfortunately, I got diagnosed with cancer, and at the time, it was now been a huge blessing. I'm feeling better than ever, but it was a shift of purpose for me in terms of, instead of putting off the things I want to do into the far future, I started thinking, what can we make an impact now? And during that time, everyone started sending me all of these different ways of healing. But the things that resonated were with sound, between science, spirituality, music, frequency, brainwaves, binaural beats, mantra, all these things. I was like, wait a minute, sound has an effect on humans. And so it was passionate for me to, start sharing this information with kids, as Randy just said, and as you just very, very said in another level, that children are the future, and it's very important to start sharing this. So Albert Einstein has this quote about the future of medicine being frequency. So I always thought, like, we did something and at the King Drew High School as well, and I always thought the sooner that kids can be introduced to these ideas about wellness, about being their best, about frequency and all these, I always thought it would be helpful. So I'm really just grateful that people are open for this and thinking about how can we make the next generation the best. And I think through art is a great way. It helps expand our consciousness in a beautiful way, a universal language of music. And so I love what everyone's doing here.
And here's the thing I want to add what Maejor just said, which is so beautiful and so true. Here's the deal. If you don't know what sound is and what he's talking about, anybody in here, any kid, anywhere, it's what happens when they listen to real, true gospel spiritual music. You get a feeling, it gives you hope, gives you belief, it gives you, I can get up again. Because that's the thing, just that simple feeling, that you hear when people in church, they talk about, well, this music makes me want to shout. That's getting it, it gives me the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. That's that really intangible thing. But the same thing can happen with any sound, any tone, any wave, be it come from a organ, a didgeridoo, a flute, pan flute, whatever it is. Just a voice with the choir. Any of that really resonates with your body. So it's beautiful that you're doing all this, Maejor. This is also the future.
And hopefully, Maejor, May is Mental Awareness and Health Month, so we hope that we could welcome you to our district, and maybe our friends here will all come for a special healing, day with our students in the community. So I'd like to turn it over to you, Superintendent. Talk to us about partnership. What is unique about partnering with the Compton School District among other districts, and what is your approach across, I know there are different pathways from music, arts, sport, technology, STEM, and of course, wellness.
Yeah, so within Compton Unified School District, we have quite a few partners. If any of you guys have a chance to check out our STEAM Fest, you should look that up online, YouTube video. You'll see what's happening in the area of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And we do that festival, really, every year. And we have probably
May 30th.
7,000 people turn out for that event within the community. But in terms of partners, a big partner of ours is WME Foundation. Sloan Stevens Foundation is a big partner. So WME focuses on all aspects of the arts. They take a lot of time to educate our students on the various opportunities that are available to them within the entertainment industry. Not just, being an artist or being a celebrity, but everything that goes behind that. All the various professions within the industry. They take the time. They also sponsor scholarships for students and actually put them through school. Capital Music, bonus tracks, big partner within Compton Unified School District. And Capital Records develop bonus tracks to teach students about the industry, the recording industry. And they take them through all aspects of the recording industry, and then at the end of that year, they provide a student with a 4-year scholarship to whatever university they're going to. Boeing is a big partner. Verizon is a big partner. Apple is a big partner.
VH1 Save the Music, who's here?
I'm getting there. The Heart of America is a big partner. Compton Unified School District. We have, what, 4 5G labs with an additional 5G lab coming on. That's a partnership between Verizon and the Heart of America. And so when you think about technology and the things that kids are exposed to within Compton Unified School District, I challenge you to find a school district that's doing more. Verizon, in terms of the number of innovative labs that they've put in place within Compton, every middle school, every high school has it or will be getting it. I think we're in the final stages of the final ones coming on board. So when you think about the applications that students are being exposed to through those partnerships with Verizon, Apple, we were awarded 5 Apple Connect schools back in the day, and we continue to replenish those supplies for the students so that they have all the latest technology at their fingertips, and they're able to explore and create in a way unimaginable in other schools. As Michelle said, Save the Music Foundation, another partner, and the list goes on and on and on. Northrop Grumman, another partner. So our kids are being exposed to quite a bit. The thing that's lacking, and I have to be honest about that, the thing that's lacking for our students really are the internships. That's what's lacking. I want you to think about yourself. Most of you that are in this space tonight, you're here because of someone believing in you, someone guiding you, someone mentoring you, someone providing opportunities for you. Black and brown children need those opportunities too. Okay? So we're doing a great job of providing them the educational foundation, but what we need support in is the internships, right? The apprenticeships, the internships. That's where those opportunities are lacking. I had the opportunity to do my doctorate at USC, and part of my process in terms of the collection of data was in Ireland. We had the opportunity to visit Apple, and Apple was doing quite a bit for students, but guess which students they were doing it for? The children of the people that already worked there. They weren't doing it for the common person. They weren't doing it for the kids that needed it. So, the unfortunate aspect of what I'm trying to convey to you right now is that kids that need it the most to eliminate that opportunity gap, they're missing the opportunities. You're successful because somebody believed in you, someone cultivated you, someone established a relationship with you, right? Well, black and brown children need those same opportunities that you got. That's the only thing that separates people in here and the people on the street that aren't doing anything. Opportunity. So we got to eliminate that opportunity gap. We got to understand that everybody is deserving of the opportunities that all of us were provided with.
Randy, who's the person who believed in you? And tell me a little bit about any opportunities where maybe we can all intern. I wouldn't mind interning with our students for a little bit. Can you put me to work?
Yeah, Michelle, of course. Come on, man. I need brand partnership.
Superintendent will let me go for the day.
I need you to find Lacey out there from WME and hook me up.
I know Lacey's here. Raise your hand. We're working on JoJo.
No, when I was coming up, you don't think about it as a kid, but so many people helped me. I don't know. I mean, all of these older guys took me under their wing and said, listen, we think you got something. You just need to continue to develop, continue to get better, try this, try that. Then I would also ask questions. I was that sponge kid. I was like, well, how do you do that? How did you play that? Why did you use that chord? I was very inquisitive, and I think they loved that they could tell that I had the passion and I was going to do it no matter what, that determination. But this is great. These guys are great up here because you know what? These kids don't even know what hit them. And you guys, when I was down at the high school, I see the inspiration you try and continuously bring them. Because you see somebody out there doing it. See Maejor doing his thing with Bieber. You see Major Davos with his wellness thing. See me doing stuff on TV with Idol or, name that tune or whatever wellness thing I'm doing. But the thing is, and it may not inspire that many people, but even if it changed the lives of 5, that's a start. That can snowball.
At least 5, so.
At least 5. To start. 5 can get to 10. 10 can get to 45. 45 can get to 2,000.
And then we start igniting the movement. So, Major, talk to us about, who believed in you, and also, we met through an amazing force, Dina LaPolte, who's getting honored tonight for Billboard 100. She can't make it, but she's a force, one of the most powerful attorneys who works with 21 Savage and everyone, Cardi B.
Dina LaPolte.
But I'd love to hear from you about opportunity and also what you have coming up, because I know you're looking to bring to life these different events. What could our kids do to serve you down the road?
Absolutely. I love what you guys mentioned about the ripple effect, right? There's like a drop of water, and each person that each person touches, they go out and touch, and so it creates a huge wave. So every interaction is important. There's no moment that's too small. I love what you said about being like a child as well. So in terms of supporting, I think I look at it like a symphony in the same way of we all are playing in the same symphony, in the same song, and we all have a different note that's important that we all play. You have your specific tone, Randy has his, you have his, everyone here has a specific one, and when we all play it at the right tone, it's a beautiful harmony. So I think that all of us identifying what is your strength, what is that thing you love to do, what is that thing that's your passion, like Randy said, and then everyone doing that towards a goal of service, of something, positive intention, of love, of community, then I think you get some magical things from that. So all of the things I'm working on are surrounding experiences of community, music, and wellness, always just that helping people to expand consciousness, because I really feel like art is a tool that does that. It's beyond, it can break barriers. We can all listen to a same song right now, and if the DJ drops a beat, we'll all go on the same frequency, and now we can vibe together regardless of what language each other speaks. We can, boom, connect. So I think the best thing would be is I have a program I'm working on is a frequency school, kind of as a mind, body, spirit program, and figuring out ways to kind of teach even some, or integrate some of the things and learn first. I'm sure the kids will teach me way more than I could ever teach them. And then also integrating some things that along my journey I felt like have helped me, just to keep giving, more tools for people that as they're growing, to keep giving back to this beautiful community.
So you've heard me talk about STEAM quite a bit, right? The positive things that are happening within Compton Unified School District. Give you another example of a person that gives back to Compton. Her name is Rebecca Constantino, Access Books. And she reconfigures our libraries at about $250,000 a pop. She's probably done about 16 of our libraries within the school district already, and is continuing to do more. So giving back comes in many different ways, and it's not always about a financial contribution, but financial contributions do help, and they do level the playing field in many ways in terms of have and have not communities, right? So that's another example of giving back. How do you give back to an organization? What impact do you make on children, on literacy, things like that?
What does success look like in your eyes in the future of, the next generation in education, across the board?
Success for me is really the elimination of the opportunity gap, which provides students with the opportunity to learn, to create, to become successful. And so you heard me talk about Compton when I first got there, 58% graduation rate, right? Now it's a 90% graduation rate. It was a 12% A through G completion rate, entitling kids to get into CSUs and UCs. Now it's a 55% A through G completion rate. When I first got there weren't very many kids getting into UCLA, Berkeley, Stanford, Harvard, you name it. Our kids are getting into those universities. They're killing it. They're slaying it. They are slaying it. We had 350 admissions to UCs and almost, actually it was 450 admissions to UCs and about 780 admissions to CSUs of the graduating seniors. So our kids are getting in. I mean, more than, what does it look like? It looks like more than 90% of your kids being admitted to four-year universities. That's happening within Compton Unified School District. So the reality is Compton is not what people think it is. Compton is not what it used to be. Compton is leading the way, and we're a shining example in terms of what is happening for students. If you haven't had the opportunity to read the article that came out in Education Week last week that Ben Harold wrote, well, he wrote about 5 communities. It was Disillusioned is the name of the book, and it's talking about what happens when individuals take the time to invest in the education of the students within their community. And Compton is featured in there. I'm featured in that article. So take the time to read it. Education Week, it came out, I think it was Tuesday. The book was released Tuesday. Yeah, so it gives you an example of what he experienced. A journalist that vetted the data, looked at what was occurring, and realized, wow, amazing things happening within Compton Unified School District.
Randy, what's your approach to spotting talent? Like, what does the future look like in your eye? Because you always have that crystal ball and you're always great at spotting the next, amazing talent and then cultivating, giving the resources and developing that talent.
For me, no matter what the idiom is, no matter what the, job is, be it sports, be it music, be it, a different kind of athlete, track and field, be it an actor, be it a comedian, whatever it is. I think that stars are truly born. Madonna was born with that spirit. Michael Jackson was born with that spirit. Bowie was born with that spirit. Prince was born with that spirit. I mean, these people are going to shine bright. You ain't going to stop them. There's no stopping them. There's that. There's also something that I call trying to be unique. Simon Cowell would call it his X factor. What is making you unique from person to person to person? Then, what I look for, that work ethic. Are you really trying to do this? Or are you just messing around and seeing if you can? So, those are the 3 big factors for me. Everyone needs a hit song, but those other 3 elements, man, you don't have that, it's going to be tough.
I don't have that hit song, but I can outwork anyone, and I ain't messing around.
Yeah, that's why Michelle's up here on the stage, y'all. Give Michelle some love. Come on. Amen.
One day I'll break out the piano for you. One day.
Exactly.
And one more thing, success looks like more than what's in this room. Did you hear me? Success looks like more than what's in this room. Success looks like diversity, right? I had the opportunity to visit Apple. I had the opportunity to visit Google. And there's not very many of me there. There's not very many women there. There's not very many Latinos there. Apple has more than Google. Got to give Apple props on that. But overall, there's just not very many there. And success looks like everybody getting a slice of that pie. That's success.
I do like that you said everybody getting a slice of that pie after you said Apple. That was funny, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was funny. Yo, I love that, man.
I'd love to just talk about something that's happening in our state right now. Prop 28. $900 million has been allocated to arts and music education. Superintendent, I'd love you to share something that's a personal mission of mine in figuring this all out. It's happened recently, and we're trying to really get more educators to come serve and come teach our students. So I'd love you to share with this knowledgeable community what's happening and also the opportunity in our district.
So lots of money released by the state of California for arts education. A lot of that education is going to be in the area of music. Others is going to be in the area of arts education. We have a lot of arts education in place already. Within Compton, we have Meet the Masters. All of our elementary students go through that process where they learn about the masters and they're able to recreate their techniques that they use to develop art. As far as Prop 28 is concerned, there's a shortage of teachers, a big shortage of certain kinds of teachers, and one of those is teachers of music. However, there are avenues for individuals that are interested in giving back to come into the profession as vocational teachers. So that's a huge opportunity, and we're exploring various opportunities to make that happen. But anyone in the audience that knows individuals that are interested in teaching music to students, they'll be able to get hired. They'll be able to get hired right away. So one of the things that we are working on right now is a partnership with Fender, where we will provide guitars, probably to about 10 to 12 of our elementary school sites, guitars, and we're going to need the guitar instructors, right? We'll get the guitars at cost through Fender to provide guitar instruction to students within the programs of the various elementary schools. So big need to expand music everywhere in public education throughout the entire state. It's not just a Compton issue. It's an issue throughout the entire state. We will be reinvigorating our keyboard program within the organization to expose kids to learning how to play the piano, keyboards, etc., and much more expansion. So big opportunity there. Districts across the state are going to be needing music instructors, and we have a way of actually bringing them on board, but we got to figure out a better way of recruiting people that traditionally have not gone the teacher route.
Maejor and Randy would love to. There's a lot of great leaders across a diverse range of industries here. Would love you to share sort of what are some of your personal projects and things that you're working on that you're excited about. Randy, I hear you're doing something involving Compton, and you didn't even tell me till tonight. You snuck it in.
We got a little movie that we're planning to make. It's based on Mayor of Compton around 1990, 1991. Very interesting time. It's a great project. More on that later. I got a pretty big management company managing writer, producers, and artists. I got a couple of artists up for Grammys this year. God, what else are we doing? We got TV shows in development. We have Greater Than Distribution, which is a distribution network through Virgin Universal. We started about a year ago. Me and my co-partner, Paula Moore. A lot of big things going on there, a lot of new artists. There's a whole wellness channel we have there that we're doing there, wellness, sound, medicine, we call it wellness medicine. Name That Tune still flushing along. Just got back from Dublin, December doing season 4. Just grinding, just trying to stay entrepreneurial. We still got a couple of chefs, still got some products, some eyewear, some vitamins. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm the entrepreneur this latter part of the last 10 or so years. I've gotten interested in more things. You know what I mean? I want to be the whole man, not just half the man, not just the music man, the whole man.
Yes, for me, everything that I'm working on is surrounding the music, the wellness perspective. My short-term goal is to help bring these ideas into the mainstream. So through collaborations with great artists, still doing that, as well as working on the immersive experiences, which will allow people to have these frequency experiences at a higher level, at a more immersive level, being the eye of the storm at many of these great conferences, events, and as well as working on a tool in the AI realm for discernment, to know what is this? Am I watching something that's made by a human? Is this a deep fake? A very feel like important tool for just as we go forward in humanity, just allowing us to know what we're consuming, and then bringing the prescriptive frequency more into the mainstream. So I've started to make the practice kind of saying which frequency I'm making the songs in. Right now, all the songs in every genre are in one tone, regardless of which artist, which genre, they always are in one frequency. So similar to like nutrition facts, how you can kind of look on the back and see this has this much sugar, this, I'll start to say which frequencies are in the music and introducing this idea so that we can be aware of what we're listening to.
I need you to customize a frequency playlist to get my my vibe going for the day after my 6 a.m. yoga.
Right.
And for Compton, if you were to ask me that question, Compton High School will be completed in December of 2024. State-of-the-art high school has won numerous design awards. Dr. Dre Recording Arts will be in place there. And then we are moving on soon to redoing Centennial High School as well. We were successful in passing a $350 million bond for Compton High School, and then probably about 5 years later, we passed a $350 million bond to address Centennial and Dominguez High School. So lots of positive things that are happening. Where are we going next in terms of the technology realm? We're going to be taking on AI and providing our students and teachers with all the programming and education that they need to become well-versed in AI and to eliminate those opportunity gaps that if we don't take it on, they will certainly experience later on. None of us in this room can escape AI, so we're going to take that on, and that's the next journey for us in the area of technology.
So I'd like to open up to questions. If anyone has a question, just come up here and ask. Don't be quiet. Hopefully someone has a question.
Don't be shy.
Hi, my name's Talia. Nice to meet you all. You guys are doing amazing work in the Compton School District. I'm wondering if you have any case studies or are working with other school districts to apply the same findings, because especially LAUSD, certain neighborhoods are in need of what you're doing over in Compton.
Well, I wouldn't say there's been any official case studies, but it's been well researched and documented in terms of what's happening within Compton Unified. I encourage any of you to type in the Compton turnaround, and you'll see plenty of articles on that, what's transpired. I also shared with you the Education Week article that came out last week by Ben Harold. Look that up.
It's a great book.
Also look at his book. He details it very carefully. So I guess you could say that is a case study of one of the 5 school districts that he looked at, Compton being one of them that's in that book. And we transitioned from the Compton turnaround to #Elevate. That's our new handle, if you will. And it's all about elevating the success of the students within our district and elevating success of students within our organization.
Hi everyone, Jeff Gordon from Writers Boot Camp at Bergamot Station. Michelle, great event. Mr. Jackson, an honor to listen to you. Maejor, your name should be Magic because of how you're manifesting and used your own experience to bring into reality how your learning is affecting other people. And Superintendent, thank you for being here. Believing in public education and having grown up in Chicago with a great public school in the 70s, for many, many years, it's been the root of so many of our problems in this country. Your teaching philosophy, I'd like to know a paragraph or 2 more about it. And then also if you can just give us context of the tipping point that made you feel the turnaround could happen.
Well, let me start with the last part first. When I first saw the vacancy open up for Compton, that would have been 12 years ago, I saw it and I said, Compton, I don't think I want to go there. Because I thought like other people, right? I thought foolishly about Compton. But then I saw that the position was not filled and I saw it posted again. And then I started looking at the data in terms of what was happening, particularly at the elementary schools, because our middle schools and high schools had not arrived yet in terms of performance. And I said, you know what? There's some good things happening in Compton. I said, you know what? I can make an impact in that. I can make an impact there. And I knew I could make an impact. Remember Malcolm Baldrige, performance excellence training, right? So it's all about benchmarking performance, and getting better over time through continuous improvement efforts, right? So I knew that I could take that training that I had and I could make that district a better place for students. And so I went in with that mentality. And to get back to your original question, I wouldn't say that it's the way that you stated it. My focus has been the antithesis of what most people's focus is. In education, the problem with education is most people are focused on adults. And when you're focused on adults, you cannot change the system. And I'll give you an example. In my doctorate program, one of my professors said, you know, the purpose of the organization, and he's referring to school districts, is to serve adults. And I said, no. In my mind, I said no. I didn't say no back to him. I said, no, that's wrong. But he was right. And so when you look at all the problems that have manifested themselves in public education, the root cause is that so many people are focused on the adults. When the adults have so many people to take care of them, who's taking care of the kids? And so what I did was I went into it with the mindset that the kids come first. We got to do everything to get our kids learning, to provide all the opportunities that we can for the kids. The adults have the unions to take care of them. The adults have the administrators that are looking out for them. I mean, so many people are looking out for them. They have their fellow employees looking out for them. But who's looking out for the kids? If we're not going to put the kids first, and if other organizations are not going to put the kids first, they will never be able to turn around an organization. They just will not be able to, because it will be rooted on adults. And so I just took a different approach. You know, I applied the continuous improvement strategies to get better over time and constantly benchmark our performance against our surrounding competitors. And for me, kids were going to come first.
Did you have to get buy-in from the parents?
Didn't have to get buy-in from the parents on that at all. I mean, the parents bought in hook, line, and sinker. I think one of the telling things about a school district is when you don't have turnover of board members, they're telling you what? They're satisfied with what those board members are doing for the kids that are being educated within that community, right? And so the fact that board members constantly get reelected really is a testament to the good work that everybody within that organization is doing, whether it's a classified employee, whether it's a teacher, whether it's an administrator, whether it's the governing board. Notice who I didn't say? I didn't say me, right? I don't need to say me because I know what I'm doing. I don't have to toot my own horn.
Thank you.
I got a question, Superintendent. So for me, one of the things I see, and I'm sure you guys are addressing this and doing all of this, we're talking about the arts, we're talking about music, talking about all these things, wanting to inspire the kids. Mental health of the young kid, what in the going on in these schools with that? Because the parents are usually anemic at best. So most of the problems start at home, right? So you got that kid, what are we doing with the mental health of that kid?
Well, honestly, I can say that we're doing quite a bit within Compton Unified School District, but getting to his question, school districts are suffering across the state, across the nation in terms of mental health issues. I have a daughter that suffers from mental health issues. So I understand what it's like. I understand the heartache that goes through it, the challenges. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all. We do quite a bit in Compton. We start off with a survey, a screening survey through Panorama. That's the program that we use. And then that screens the students 3 times a year to determine whether or not there are any issues that need to be addressed with an RT, response to intervention, RTI approach. And then based upon those screening results, we have the ability to use that data to interact with the students. We have a partner that then can take those results and apply the necessary mental health needs to Care Solace is the name of the company, to the parents and the students to provide them with the mental health needs that they need to address those issues. And then we also have mental health curriculum that's in place. Move This World is one of them for the high school, and our elementary curriculum, second step for our elementary students. So quite a bit's being done in Compton, but I'll tell you, kids are suffering. And coming back from from COVID was not a good thing for kids. I don't care where you're at, whether you're in Compton, whether you're in a different school district, there are big time issues that were created over school closures and the type of interactions that students were experiencing through social media. And it's a different world now, and it's going to take a while to get over all of that. So Compton Unified School District, we have more than 28 wellness centers already in place in our schools. So we have 21 elementary schools, 6 middle schools, 4 high schools, 28. I think we're up to 30 now, 30 wellness centers of the 36 schools that we have in place. And so we're doing quite a bit around the mental health piece, and the wellness centers are great places where students can go in and get the mental health counseling that they need from mental health professionals. They also have the ability to take a time out, a break, and interact in games or whatever it is that they need to get stuff off their mind before they go back into the classroom with a better mindset.
Love that.
Thank you so much, and I agree with everything you just hit on with mental healthness. My name is Carla Gordy Bristol. I'm the Arts and Culture Commissioner with the City of Beverly Hills. It's been a pleasure to hear everything you're talking about, and I think it was Randy who hit on the fact that the youth at home is often told they can't. They are talented, they have just bright eyes, they want to do everything, they have this passion, but the light is usually dimmed by people in their own household or around them all the time. And when you said that, it hit on something I was saying in our commission meeting recently, that we all need to come together as cities. Within California, we have very strong communities. And I think we have the United Nations out there getting the world together. Why can't we create something in the state of California that all of the communities in California, the commissioners, the arts, the musicians, the writers, all of these areas in the arts can come together and send people to each of the cities and talk and have an agreement of some sort. What do you think of how we can unite within just the state of California and help each other as communities and come to Compton? I'd be happy to organize a group in our city and come there. Just, someone's got to get it started, and what way can we best help?
I guess you guys want me to attack that one. Well, one of the problems that you have with school districts is school districts consider themselves their own governing agency. So you have this don't tread on me mentality. And I'm not saying that every school district is like that, but a vast majority of them are. So school districts see themselves as their own unique governing entity, and they are. They are not beholden to the city one bit. And there's a lot of confusion for most people that come from other cities that weren't brought up here, that don't understand that a school district is its own governing agency. The city is its own governing agency. And oftentimes people are trying to bring things in to a school district by going to the city, but it's never going to get off the ground going to the city. So if you're trying to impact a school district, you've got to start with the school district. The city does not mean anything to most school district governing boards, other than the fact that it's in the same city. Okay? And so sometimes there are great relationships where that can occur, but oftentimes there are not great relationships where that can occur. So it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to accomplish something for the good of kids, you're better off going to the school district to get that off the ground. But there's also avenues where you can sometimes go to the city to accomplish things through summer programs and things like that. But the big outreach to families will always occur through the school district over the city if you're trying to impact students.
Thank you also for coming. I know we've been in correspondence, and I'm one of the Santa Monica Arts Commissioners, but I like to bring that up and discuss that with some of my fellow commissioners are here tonight, so that's a really important and valid opportunity to explore. Quick last question. I just want to recognize Christina, who's an amazing woman. I've helped her behind the scenes. She's running for Senate. So thank you for you just coming from another engagement. But I know you had it. I want to recognize you. Why don't you come up here?
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you. It's so good to be with you guys. Randy, Darin, Maejor, thank you for the change makers that you are and for the push for arts, which obviously is so critically important. Another thing that I'm very passionate about is early literacy. And in California, 60% of kids aren't reading at grade level by third grade. That's directly linked to homelessness and incarceration later on. For Black and brown kids, it's even a higher rate. So I was curious in Compton Unified what you're doing, and if you've heard perhaps of Primary Promise. They tried it in LAUSD. It was wildly successful in getting kids up to speed, but cut due to funding, unfortunately. So I'm curious what kind of challenges you're facing around that, and if that's one of your focus points.
You know, our Black students are doing very well in Compton. They have the highest graduation rates in the organization. So, like I said, 90% graduation rates, but that's being led by our African American students. An area that we need to do better by African American students is the A through G completion rate. And part of that has to do with the foreign language component. So we've identified the issue. We know that we can get better in that area, and that's what we need to get better with for them.
So thank you everyone for coming here and being part of this special evening. Thank you, Viceroy. Thank you to my friend Aaron Bird for the amazing music. And I just want to shout out, thank you, Mayor Brooke, fellow council members Oscar De La Torre, Lana Negretti, along with my commissioners of Santa Monica, Mary Elizabeth and Michael, and a few partners who's in the room. I'm really grateful you took the time to be here. Endeavor Foundation, Headspace, Angel City, Sloan Stevens, Heal the Bay, Wasserman, LA Sparks, AEG, Morgan Stanley, VH1, Black Surfer Collective, Creative Visions Foundation, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, Hawk Media, Univision, Senator Ben Allen's team, and Creative Visions Foundation again. So thank you everyone for being here, and I hope that you join us and become part of our community, and stay tuned for the next event.